All right, greetings. It is your Ultimate Aggie podcast. Scott Garrard alongside David James. DJ, here's the thing. We've done this for a few weeks now.
Yes.
Sometimes some of the other ones have not quite seen the light of day, but we hope to rectify
Make
that.
this a regular thing.
Yes.
All the way through the process.
Yes.
It's we're inventing something new, so sometimes you don't get it right the first time.
Yeah. But this one is a big one because there's a couple things I want to talk about. First off, Utah State goes to Colorado State, and Aggies have lost 2 in a row. And I'm thinking, when they get down 13 a few minutes into the second half.
Let me just say it. That'd be 3 in a row.
Yes.
That'd be season slipping away. That'd be NCAA tournament slipping away. And for people who don't know, in addition to being an Aggie and having no official comment on whether he's an ultimate Aggie or not.
I am.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I'll just.
Oh, my gosh.
say it. Thankfully, no footage. But
Okay. All right. Sorry, I got to
come on, it's a podcast. We can be honest here.
Yeah, I'm trying not to visualize, and it's too late. Stop, man. Play-by-play guys get paid by the game.
Yes.
You know what play-by-play guys like? And this is true, college, pro,
Yeah.
this is just industry standard, right? So the thought that a play-by-play guy would root against his team is crazy.
No way.
You root against your wallet. And who does that?
I mean, PK once, I was on the air with you guys, and PK was, you're being a homer. I'm like, yeah, I'm being a homer. I get paid per game. Of course I want this team in the NCAA tournament. Of course I want this team to win games in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
That puts a little extra Disneyland money in.
And I did that a long time ago when I was first getting started. I was in Santa Barbara where, because of time and market size, the money was a lot less.
Yeah.
$100 a game. But, yeah, watching a guy miss a shot and then miss a tip-in and lose a game to the Aggies at the Forum in the PCA tournament, I thought, and there went $100. At a time when Santa Barbara was really expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And like $100 really mattered. Like there were no extras, you know. It was like,
yeah.
That's what the budget looks like every month. $100, like, hey, I could go get a deli sandwich one day and not be doing the math on whether it works out. I was living paycheck to paycheck for sure.
Yep. So Colorado State, and I don't want to get too much in the weeds in this game, but you saw the strengths and weaknesses of Utah State in that second half. First off, if you're able to slow a game down and make Utah State play half-court offense, they're going to struggle a little bit. If you turn the ball over, which Utah State does a great job in forcing turnovers in the open court, you're going to get
in the face.
You are going to get obliterated.
Yeah.
This team is such a great turnover forcing team that can translate into fast break buckets.
But what surprised me is it was Templin. Because he's been a nice player, right? He's earned his minutes. He brings some size, a little physical presence, some boards. He plays pretty high motor, a lot of energy, right? But he doesn't really impact games or turn games or score on big possessions and suddenly just rip off the shirt, put on the cape, and just start flying around the court like Superman. 3 big dunks. 2 of them pretty ordinary for a guy his size and athletic ability.
Yeah.
The third one, or the middle one of the 3, I thought was pretty slick.
Yeah.
And then out of the middle of nowhere, the couple things that really surprised me is he drops a Yusuf Nurkic old man one-hand push shot in the lane. Like, whoa, where did that come from? Maybe I missed it. Have I missed that?
It's attempted a few times.
But that was smooth.
And the step through and all of that.
Yeah, everything about it. And when they were putting the pressure, I thought, and this is, hate to say it, Saudi, this is something I've learned watching soccer that I should have known in basketball, but like the second wave of pressure, right? The guards go press in basketball the same way forwards go press. But then when you're in the second tier, further back, it's like a game of cat and mouse there. Like you can go deny your guy, right? And then they don't throw it there, and that's good defense. But it's even better when you drop back a step and like a quarterback in football, bait him into the pass, right?
Yep.
And I thought he baited that last turnover, and he picked it off. And then he's racing down court. There's like 2:45 to go, and they've got the lead at this point. They come all the way back, and I'm like, oh, dude, you are so going to try to get your 4th dunk and drive in there. It's going to be a charge. It's going to be awkward looking. You're going to bring the crowd. You're going to give a chance. And then, like the veteran he is, because he's played enough to know, he got inside the 3-point line, and I don't know when he's been yelled at in practice or game, but all of a sudden, like, whoa, and he brought the Clydesdales to the heart, pulled the ball back, IQ. Basketball, I was talking basketball IQ. Know the time and the score. That was, and maybe he would have, maybe we would have Frederick Rice that dude and like jumped over him and dunked. I don't know. But I thought that was the right play. And there was not a lot of breathing room at the end of the game.
No, there was not.
Every play matters. Like a turnover there could have been a big problem.
Exactly. And if you listen to the radio call, Templin with the still, Templin going down the near side of the court, and wisely decides to bring it back out.
Wisely.
Yes.
Excellent word.
Even if it just runs another 25 seconds off the clock.
Oh, yeah.
So be it. That's great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it was way late in the game, so to do that, it was great. I mean, you take 25 seconds there. 25 seconds to the end of the game, if they foul, that can be like 3 possessions. There could be a lot of points in the last 25 seconds. So when you take that off, you're helping yourself.
Yep. It was good to see MJ Collins get back into a groove. Now, a lot of that was just, hey, he was feasting on those turnovers and getting dunks on the other end, much like but
how many coaches have told you he saw the ball go through the hoop and then he relaxed and then he made the shot that he's always capable of making, but he hasn't been.
Yeah. And
also, didn't he get a wide open three? I mean, not an open three. He got a. It's 3:00 in the afternoon, and the practice is until 3:30, and I got here first, wide open 3:00.
But when that guy gets it going, his points come like he's buying them at Costco, like he's getting them in bulk, man.
Nice.
And so he had averaged 13 points a game the previous 3 games. He is averaging nearly 20 a game on the season. It was nice to get him past that 20-point level. The one thing I wanted – go ahead.
I was just going to say, to your point about fast break half court, they were in trouble at halftime. They were down 10. They only had 25 points. They defended all right. I mean, 35 points, that should give you a great chance to win a game. But they only had 25, and they had 13 of them in transition.
Yeah.
They've got to be better in the half court because you're not going to get to run all the time against everybody. I mean, CSU's call it like it is. They're going to be in the bottom half of the league. They got a losing record in conference. They fattened it up in non-conference, but they got a losing record in conference.
Yeah, and that's certainly a huge point of emphasis, half-court offense. But dealing with adversity, though, and, you've covered a lot of games. You've seen teams that win these games on the road. You're down. And Jared Calhoun mentioned after the game, this is something we can build on going future. This is a reference point where we're playing in Viejas and we're down 6 with 7 minutes left, and our guys are looking around that crowd being like, can we really do this? Yes, you have done this in a very hostile environment against Colorado State. There's precedence here. You can do this, and I hear coaches talk about reference points all the time, and I think this could be a big one.
I totally buy that. I thought watching it, I thought about a couple things. One, I thought about our discussion on the podcast last week or 2 weeks ago when we were talking about, maybe it's even 3 now, when we were talking about Grand Canyon and the stuff they put out and the negative stuff. No, I believe that we will win. Like, you need that stuff burned into your DNA. A guy like Falslip, and even Templin, right? How many times have they heard that chant now? How deep are they in their career, right? And so you got to get in those moments, and you got to look at the scoreboard and say, yeah, it's bad, but it doesn't matter because we got time. We can do this. Let's go do this. And have that mentality. The team that expects to win versus the team that hopes to win. I'm not a gambler, but if I were, I'd be on the team that expects to win all the time. And that is why we have points, and that is why we have garbage points that slip games, because otherwise gamblers would bankrupt the house. Because it's that predictable, Scotty.
Yeah.
It is. The team that expects to win versus the team that hopes to win. The team that wants to win versus the team that needs to win. The players all knew it. 3 in a row. They want to go to the NCAA tournament. That's the bar at Utah State. It's been established for a long time, probably 20 years now. Good seasons are 20 wins. But very good seasons are NCAA tournaments. Great seasons are wins in the NCAA tournament, right? But I think that good, very good, great, that's cast in stone regardless of the coach now, going back to Stu.
I go back to the football team, Utah State playing Boise State. Utah State dominated that game. Utah State should have beaten Boise State, but there was a team that wanted to win and a team that knew how to win.
Yep.
And even though Boise State way down as opposed to where they were at last year and not at a high point, certainly.
They had to win.
But they knew what it took to win. Utah State still learning that under the Bronco Mendenhall thing. That's right there on display.
It's tough when you have a lot of players change every year because then all that institutional memory goes out the door, right? But I think that's why the fan base has to keep that chant up, keep that attitude, keep that energy, and burn it into each team. And for this team, which has some returning guys, but also has some new guys, that's why I think that Coach Calhoun's right about that. That's touchdown. That was tough. You don't get the same thing when you blow out CSU at home.
No, by 42 points or something like that. Yeah. All right, so you were the play-by-play guy.
Although we should point out, they had their bigs.
Yes, they did. Jorgensen's tremendous. And the Bemba guy's really good, too. All right, so what years did you because I'm going to show you something here real quick. This might be back in the – have you seen the uniforms?
Yeah. I think Riley sent a I think Riley Jensen sent a photo of this to me.
Okay.
Tagged me on Twitter.
All right. So does this take you back to the Santa Barbara days?
Yeah, a little bit it does. It wasn't quite the right guys. I think that's an early 80s photo.
Yeah, that's a powder blue. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I called games like 85 to 90.
Okay. So you may have overlapped with it a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, the look was somewhat familiar and all that. I looked at a photo who I didn't see as Reed Newey because Reed Newey played for most of the time I called games. And like he's a guy, and there are other guys. Kendall Youngblood, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was very good. I remember him.
Yeah. Kendall was really good.
Yeah. He broke some Gaucho hearts.
Yeah.
he had big games against them. And then Josh Grant's brother Greg.
Greg Grant, yeah.
So when Greg was playing, I was calling games on a student station. But I remember it's a big deal. They have a 22-year-old freshman. How do you have a 22-year-old freshman? You know, Santa Barbara. Nobody. What? Huh? Oh, really? That happens? And Pip wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
And later on, you could run all the stuff by Jared. And he's like, yeah.
I know what's going on.
Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah. It's like, Jerry at that point in his career was the master of not worrying about things he couldn't control. And like when he said he didn't worry about it, he really,
Jerry Pym, legendary coach.
I don't control somebody's eligibility. You playing a 23-year-old junior, you are.
Whatever.
Yeah. Next. He just sailed right on through.
But yeah, Utah State this week will be wearing the throwback 80s uniforms with the powder blue trim.
Back in the day.
Talk to Cameron Walker, and he is on his way. Yes.
We did not mention about the win at CSU. They did that without Falslove going off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
it
no, it's a great point.
Very often. Yep. To win without Falslove, I think, is another touch point. Just wanted to throw that in there.
No,
Sorry.
Excellent point.
Not win without him. Win without him having a big game. He was obviously there and he's playing.
He didn't have to go nuclear.
No, he
didn't.
Win that game. A lot of times when that kind of stuff happens, you look down, he's got 15, 20, 25 points.
Yeah.
You know, and it was other guys scoring the buckets down the stretch. Anyway, carry on.
Now I'm thinking of like two other angles of that game, but
Go ahead. What do you got?
Well, I think that you've got a guy.
It's a podcast. We got no limits, Scotty.
Well,
Let's go.
That's true. Adlon Elamine, I think, continues to get a little bit better,
Yes. Give me his backstory. What do you know?
True freshman, highly recruited. Utah State got him on him early, and they knew he was going to be a project. You know, he still has to put 15, 20 pounds on. There's a lot of things that need to happen for him, but the sky is the freaking limit with that kid. And he continues to just elevate. Every game just gets a little bit better. He'll still get burnt a little bit defensively from time to time.
Yeah, but his length, he moves. I thought he moves pretty well. And his length, and there's something about his body language that's a little imposing when he's defending. Yeah. It'd be like, if I could just imagine playing him with the ball, like, I'm going to be careful with the ball, or this is going the other way, you know? Yeah. Just because the passing is just disappear when he sticks the arms out because the wingspan's so big. Yeah. And his body language is coming. I mean, it looks like he's hunting.
Yeah.
Hunting.
Yeah.
All right, careful. Watch your step.
And that's it. You know, the Jazz did this back in the day. I remember Jerry Sloan and Phil Johnson were the first that I remember being this a stat the team would keep track of were deflections.
Yeah.
And Utah State's got a whiteboard, and they've got one of the grad assistants. By the way, all the grad assistants really cool dudes. Mm-hmm. That was really fun hanging out with those guys. They give me grief because I drink too many energy drinks.
Yeah, I get that, and probably not great for you. But anyway, carry on.
By the way, Rockstar, if you'd like to sponsor this podcast, we can make that happen. But the element to what now I completely forgot what I was talking about.
Elamine, defense.
Defense, Elamine.
Deflections.
So they will chart those deflections, and they've got a kid on a whiteboard that's like, all right, we got X amount, and the coaching staff, not good enough. We need more. And watching them in practice, they work on deflections like crazy. And it is a huge point of emphasis for these guys.
More deflections equals more turnovers, which equals more opportunities to run. But even if you don't get the turnover, if you disrupt their offense and they have to restart, and now they're on a short clock, it's effective in the pros. But the pros are about, of all the things that change from college to the pro game, the ability of the pros on offense to execute on a short clock. Like for a pro, 7 seconds is like a week.
Yeah.
In a college, 7 seconds is a snap of your fingers. They just don't. It just doesn't work the same way. You give a college kid the ball with the defense set 30 feet from the hoop with 7 seconds left. I don't know what the analytics are, but they can be summed up with the, that's what the analytics are.
That's a Ken Palm number.
Yeah, but in the pros, they could be 2 screens, 2 passes, and a wide open shot, and they don't even think it's anything unusual. Or it's just Luka or somebody goes, or Kevin Durant goes and gets a shot. It's totally different. It's still the Jazz did it for a reason. I mean, they knew in the long term it paid off for them, but not the way it pays off in college.
the Pac-12 meetings going on this week.
The future.
The future of the conference,
yes,
especially in football. And I know that they're close on a football schedule. Okay. I know there's been some iterations that have been floating around within the athletic directors that they've got under lock and key. It's like Fort Knox with what this schedule is going to look like. But I would anticipate here in the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a football schedule released. They hope to have that narrowed down this week. And so I'm really fascinated to see what that's going to look like, how you're going to handle conferences. Could you have a home with a team in conference? Oregon State and Washington State's been doing it for a while. I don't think that's going to be the case, but certainly all things are on the table.
The fact that you even bring that up goes to the point, and I just saw this. I wish I could credit who it was, but somebody was saying the Mountain West doesn't have anything going right now, and the Pac-12 doesn't have anything going right now, but they both feel like they need to add teams.
Yes.
The problem is there are no obvious candidates.
No.
Well, that's not true. There are obvious candidates, but all of them have major flaws, some of which they don't even control. Like North Dakota State is just geography, which nobody controls. I think, their budget, the success on the field, they really fit. It feels to me like if you're going to add teams and make yourself a bigger league and go into that part of the country, you need to talk to 2 Montanas and 4 Dakotas and divisions and minimize the travel for everything else and just for football and go, okay, there's not a lot of people in that part of the country, but those athletic departments have a history and a long-standing tradition and the money. They don't compete with pro sports there, so that's a huge advantage. They don't have as much money. Well, they don't have to because they don't have an NBA team or anybody vacuuming them with cash. They've got access to it all. They're big-time sports where they are. So I think there are some real questions with the schedule about what they do. I think that the short-run answer, while they sort this out and figure can they expand, should they expand, North Dakota State, New Mexico State, there aren't many candidates left.
No.
Unless they rate each other, which we've seen how that's, A, it's possible, and B, it gets super messy.
Yeah, and it continues to be messy.
It does, right. Maybe some more of the Texas schools would jump. I don't know. I kind of think if they would, then they already would have. And maybe someone tries to put at least a couple of Texas schools together so you have travel partners in the sports where that matters, like men's and women's basketball and maybe volleyball too. But I kind of think if they could have, they would have already. I'm not thinking. I don't think anybody in that room is like, what? DJ's right. We should call North Texas. I think they're well past that.
UT San Antonio.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I think UT San Antonio is a great travel partner with Texas State. That's absolutely one airplane trip, 2 games. The schools are 30 minutes apart. And maybe somebody will pull that together one day, but right now I get why those schools don't have enough confidence in what the heck is going on this side of the country. There's been a lot of change and turmoil, and maybe they don't want to. We don't need to be the first one through the door to figure out how that works.
Devil you know versus devil you don't.
Right.
And that's and I think when things settle down, I think there'll be more interconference scheduling.
There it is. That was my next point. I think they should embrace it now.
I do too.
I get the lawsuits, and they're going to fight over the money, and they're probably going to do what Duke and Miami did, and they're going to settle when they fought over a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to settle, and I expect that's how this will work out. But in the long run, they need to minimize travel. They need to play people that the fans care about. Mm-hmm. Like Wyoming and CSU need to play.
Yes.
Fresno State and San Jose State need to play. I mean, the fans love these games, right? It gives you a little something to put on TV, and it puts more butts in seats. It's close enough that the visiting team can drive and put some fans in the stands. Yeah. And none of these programs are at a point where that doesn't matter. It always matters. It absolutely matters. And Wyoming probably needs to go to Boise State for that matter.
Yeah.
There's if they want to. I don't know if they want to. But
Utah State fans like the game against Wyoming.
CSU Air Force, USU Wyoming is another good one. Yeah, there's a lot of those games out there. So I think that in the short run could be the answer to, hey, we got to schedule a lot of games. Because they're going from 8 league games to now if you only have 7, what do you do? It's like, I know what you do. Fresno and San Jose, you have the same problem. You're mad at each other right now. Yeah. I get it. But guess what you're going to do? You're going to sign a 2-year deal, and you're both going to get a home game. And now look, you don't have a problem.
Exactly. Mom and dad can still drop the kids off at McDonald's, shake hands, and be kind to each
CSU
other.
and Wyoming, same thing. If they don't, they've got to continue that series. I have never lived in either one of those states, and I enjoyed turning it on in the days in the WAC, in the days in the early Mountain West, and then what it's evolved into. That game matters. You can see it in the stands with those fans. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and I think cooler heads will eventually prevail. I just hope it happens sooner than later. Because I remember when BYU left the Mountain West Conference, and they were
We'll
like,
never play
we'll
them
never
again."
schedule them
Shut
ever. Yeah,
up.
you will.
And Hawaii
Yeah.
figured it out first.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they're
Hawaii
like,
said,
oh, wait, we can fill our stadium. Huh.
"Bing."
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
So do it.
Yeah.
I mean, do it right now. And you got a lot of fan bases want to go to UNLV. It ought to be easy to schedule that.
Yeah.
So.
And frankly,
So do
in basketball, I love calling games in the pit. Love it.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite places to go watch a game.
Well, and I'm sure they're willing to have anyone come in. It's just we know that for 30 years now or more, they're not willing to go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the problem there. And you know who might break that down? He gave me a quote that gave me hope. Kevin Young.
Oh, yeah?
He had a quote, which I'll mangle now. I don't have it right in front of me. But the essence of the quote was, I don't know what we're getting out of these Category 4 games.
Oh, yeah, the Quad 4 games.
Quad 4 games.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're getting out of Quad 4 games.
Nothing.
It says we got to look at, I'm like, well, you know what? You're not going to be able to schedule all Quad 1 games. So, but Quad 2 games, especially a Quad 2 road game, it's like if you want to get used to the Big 12 environment, because all these guys are new and they're coming from who knows where, they're coming from high school, they're coming from overseas, they're coming from smaller leagues that don't draw. And if you want people to get a taste of the Big 12, take BYU to play Utah State.
Yeah.
Because the spectrum will be full, it'll be hostile, there'll be people screaming, and you'll get a feel for it.
Yeah.
And if you're really all that, you'll win way more often than you lose. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm with him. And it's just, he's a pro coach, and it's so all-consuming. There's a bunch of stuff we know about college basketball that he doesn't know in his first year or two, and he's figuring it out. Mm-hmm. So it'll be interesting to see if BYU schedules anyone in either one of these leagues. Does San Diego State want to play him? BYU and San Diego State have filled each other's arenas at time, right? Yeah. BYU and Utah State can fill each other's arenas. BYU and UNLV makes sense to me. I mean, there's a lot of – so if he's willing to crack the door on that, it's been a long time since BYU's wanted to do that. But he's right. As good as their teams are, they're not getting anything out of Quad 4.
No.
You can play two of them. You can play one in a season opener if you want, although I love the made-for-TV opener. Just go do that.
Yeah.
And one game coming back from finals. I get that because teams tend to play poorly when they haven't played for 10 days. It's over Christmas and finals. But like, two Quad 4 games is plenty. And even those could be Quad 3 games. What does it matter?
Jared Calhoun and Cam Walker, the two of them, are analytic nuts when it comes to scheduling.
Yeah.
And Jared says a 10-point loss on the road to a Quad 1 team is much, much better than a 15-point win at home against a Quad 4 team. If you don't beat that Quad 4 team by like 35 points, it actually hurts you.
So we can rip the NCAA all we want. It's fun. And we'll do it later. Stand by.
Yes.
But if they set up a system that the coaches dive into and they realize, hey, these Quad 1 or 2 versus Quad 4 games don't make any sense, let Quad 4 play each other.
Yeah.
Let them play each other. But the Quad 1 and 2s, and we get better games out of it, then for once the NCAA got something right. And so maybe slowly we're seeing coaches evolve to, this is what we really ought to do. Because that's what the fans want. That's what the media want. But nobody cares what we want.
No.
Not for the last 10 or 20 years.
That's your Ultimate Aggie podcast. Scott Garrard, David James. We'll do it again next week here. Oh, yes.
One more thing before you say goodbye.
Yes.
Football schedules. I know this, but adjacent to that is bowl games.
Oh, yeah.
Mountain West versus the Pac-12. We need more bowl games that are drivable in this side of the country. And if that means a second game in Vegas, Scotty, if that means reinvigorating a second game in San Diego and saying the reason it went away is you kept having to bring someone in from the other side of the country. Now you don't.
Champions of both.
The LA Bowl's going away, I read.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
That was under my radar. I just stumbled across that 2 weeks ago. I think San Diego and Vegas, one's a Mountain West city, one's a Pac-12 city. Step up, do a second bowl game, guys. You can bring in your G4 teams or your Power 4 teams, but have a G6 bowl game too. It can work because it'll be local now. It'll be regional. Okay.
Folks, there we go. Your Ultimate Aggie podcast. All things. By the way, you can reach us on Twitter if there's things you want us to address, you want us to talk about. Hey, we'll do it.
Tweet at Scotty G. Let's go.
We're more than happy to do that. David
Absolutely.
DJ James at Scotty G Zone. This is your Ultimate Aggie podcast, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, and KSLSports.com.